Alright, can you see my screenshot?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, first few levels, I think it's fine. It's like hard to do anything like super aggressive onto this guy or anything like in general. So I think it's alright. I think here, like, I mean, you don't know his limits, right? And that's like the main thing, right? I think otherwise you play it like fine. It's like I don't think we ever die here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks crazy that I even flash.
Yeah, because
I think I'm fine. I have also Conquer stacked.
Yeah, because I think what will happen probably is that he will like W auto Q, and then I still think we live, right? It's like, as I said, if he doesn't bring us below 20% HP, I don't think we die. And even if he does, he doesn't have his Q stacked, right? So.
Yeah, and I can probably like if he keeps going, I can probably just trade out attacks, and if he tries, I can also just flash away from his Q, and
Yes.
I think I should be fine.
Yeah, I mean his Q has a cost time.
At least then I like trade more HP off him, and I am back in lane with TP.
Yeah, it's like also like Toplane is like moving up here, right? So if Pantheon overextends, he's just dead, right? So, or potentially dead at least. It's like now that we got his ignite, like I wouldn't be. I mean, now we don't have the flash, right? So that's like the only thing. Now we preferably want to try to fin this wave if possible, right? It's not easy to do, and like if you want to, here I would almost consider TPing. Like I don't think we have to, but it's just so that we can start finning the wave earlier, right? If we want to look for something.
Yeah, I was considering TP, and I was like, I was kind of thinking here right now in my mindset. I was like, I will just completely chill until I'm level 6. Like I will just take it easy. And I will respect room timers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in general fine, right? Like in these kind of matchups, when he plays Ignite and we play TP, I always want us to think about how do we use this TP advantage, right, for something useful, right? Because in general, we should be able to get tempo up on him at some point, right? So if here, we don't want to play anything aggressive, that's fine. Like, and I don't mind like the shove here, for example. It's like if we want to now, for all I care, we can trade with him a bit, like, and then we can use TP back, for example, right?
Yeah, I think in my head right now, I was looking at like Void Grub spawn. I was like, if he's ahead with me with like 1 minion, what I can do is when he moves, I can just leave the wave, and it will be good wave state for me. So I was thinking about Void Grubs right now, and I didn't really focus on trading because also, as I said, when I inted later in this clip, I would be like, I want to keep my ult,
Yeah.
So I was just wanted an ult for a good Void Grub timer. It.
And it's like in general here, it's like completely fine, right? And he completely grieves the wave, right? Because I think he should slow push this one and then hard shove next one, right?
Yes.
It's like now I don't mind what he does, right? And now I would just like, I mean, this unlucky or Talon is like completely AFK emo, like because like sure he takes like 2 grubs, but we should just win this fight, I think, and like
I agree.
Mega far ahead.
I also think maybe I could have even limit tested myself, but why?
No, I get it. So. Like what I would say is that since you don't know this match, I mean, maybe you will never play this matchup again, to be honest. Like, right?
Probably not.
So that's a bit unfortunate, right? But like usually I recommend people limit testing in matchups, right? If you're playing for LP, don't do it, right? If you like are playing to learn, then I think it's better to limit test, right? But I think you can maybe one-tap the Maoka here, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they don't have Pantheon Ignite, so.
I think if I had Flash, I would actually go for it, like 100%.
Yes, then I think it's really good. Now it's a bit risky, right? Because Maoka could flash out and then Pantheon kills you and then you're a bit depressed.
Yes, and then I have to waste TP and I still lose a bit of CS.
Yeah, it's like...
Now I don't have ult.
Yeah, and I want to look for a TP as soon as possible, right? Like, if he hard shoves here, it's completely fine. On the cannon wave here, I would always reset insta. And just TP back. Because, like, if he decides to stay here like he is, I think he's fucked, right? I mean, now we eventually do it, right? And that's good, that we, like, recognize it. But it's still a bit late.
Yeah.
It's like, now we can hold the wave. And one thing I was thinking in this game, I mean, I'm not entirely sure about it, but it's like, I thought about it, and it's like, if we go Tabas this game, I think we should just go with, like, as soon as possible, emo.
Yeah, I was just looking at, like, I'm level 7. I have ult and flash soon. I want to make a play, so I was like, it's default my back into Eclipse. That's kind of generally how I play this champ, though. I don't really rush boots. I like getting my damage into getting utility.
Yeah, because
that's just personal preference.
The way I see it, right, is that his champion runs out of resources before ours because we have more sustain, agreed? Yeah. So it's like, in general, if the lane goes on further, then we should be winning, right? So theoretically, like, building defensive stats should be good for us, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying we have to, right? And if you think you can like look for an all-in, I'm like down for it. Here, like I get that we're scared. I mean, we see the Kai'Sa here die. Maokai could be here, right? In that sense.
Yeah, and I was getting pinged, so I was like, maybe they know something I don't. So I just decided to respect it.
I mean, honestly,
no one was top, so I was inted.
No, I mean it's fine, right? It's like a bit risky, but I would just pull the wave up, to be honest, and just go for a ward maybe. And if Pantheon starts walking at us, then like we would walk back, right?
Yeah.
Because like here, for example, like we can for sure go for a ward if we want to.
That's true.
And then we're completely safe. We can still do it, right? But now we can't do it anymore, right? Because now we can feel a bit scared.
I was kind of thinking then that they could be in river, but yeah, I mean, I think I should have I probably should have warded there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like we don't even need to use our E, like for all I care, to trade with him either. Like we can like ward there and then just walk at him, and then it's like sure we might eat a Q or whatever, but I don't really give a shit, right? It's like eating a Q here is fine, especially when he uses Q like this, because now he has no like. His passive is not stacked, right? Which is like a big thing, and his Q is like long cooldown. His Q is still not up here. So if you want to trade with him here, I think it's fine. Now his Q is up, I believe. Maybe it's even a bit later. But it's like real long cooldown when he like doesn't tap it, right? So it's like now I understand why we're scared, right? But I just think we could have done better to prevent this. And it's like I think we always hold the freeze here, like no matter what. Like if Maokai doesn't walk up here and start pushing it with him, then we just hold the freeze every time.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking he has ult up, and he has a timer to either go top or go mid here.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the top wave, so I was like, he will probably go mid. So I decided to start shoving.
Yeah.
And he does go mid, you know. So.
Yeah. And what I said here, right, is that I don't mind us like staying theoretically, but we have to have something to save for if we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, you said like for the grubs timer, it's like your idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, for me, I like planning our resets. So, for example, here, for all I care, we can get like Tabai's longsword.
Yeah, we can get Tabai and a longsword. It's so good reset. I'm just completely trolling. I agree. The ADHD inside me had to go. It had to go.
And it's like, I don't hate it, but when they do show up here, we just fucking take the death, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
this is a bit unfortunate, right? Like, that's just... we get Omega trolled by Riot Games. It's like unlucky, you know? But like, either way, it's like not great either way.
Yep.
Because I think if we don't use the ult here, we're completely chilling. And I mean, now the game becomes really hard.
I also shouldn't have ulted. I don't know. I got a bit tilted, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I know Talon is not playing with us here, but we see Maokai, we see Kai'Sa is dead, right? Like, we saw Maokai on the sword, like, on bottom side, right? So, for all I care, we fucking limit us the living shit out of this Pantheon, right?
That's like, yeah.
Because the Pantheon...
I could have, actually.
Because there's two things, right? One is that we might win it, or we might not, like, but it's like, the game is looking more doom than doom for every second that goes on right now. And the second thing is that this guy does not know Pantheon is on grubs, right? So it's like, he should respect it if we just walk up. And he might not because he's spear shot and he's probably talking to his chat or some dumb shit, you know, but like... But that's generally right. I think we always walk up here because he should respect the fact that he's like on weak side right now. Agreed?
Yeah. I was kind of just... my eyes were not on top lane. I was thinking, where do we go after this play, more likely, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably could have. I was just, you know what? I was generally just kind of scared to limit us this game, you know?
Yeah,
I'm playing on stream.
Yeah, no, I understand that as well, right? Like, and for all I care, I don't give a shit if you like run it down, right, or something like that. Like, that's how we learn, right? So, and I mean, this is awkward. I don't know what else to say. It's like, I don't think we're... Like, the move timer is fine, I think. Like, I wouldn't mind us hitting tower since Pantheon, like, we saw Pantheon ult here, right?
Yes. I was contemplating hitting tower or coming for tier 1. Yeah. I feel like the thing is, when we're this behind, I think me hitting towers, I will not carry this game.
Yeah,
like,
no.
I'm not that strong.
So. I agree in that sense, right? And here, it's like a bit awkward. Like, if this is comp play, what I think you do is you pray your team is fucking engaging, right? And find an engage, and you turn on these two guys. And then you sacrifice, like, yourself to win the fight, right? Because, like, you can hold them for a while, I think. And I would probably, like, if we really want to look to go on these two, I think we ult flash E. Instead of, like, E here.
Yeah, but I don't have any fury. But I think you're right. I should have turned the other way, but then I feel like...
Yeah, I mean, the fight might never start, and then it's just a grief.
Yeah. There's a big chance they just walk on me, and then that's it, because...
Yeah. No, theoretically, it's, like, always correct to go and die here, I think. Like,
Yeah.
But your team might just not do
the
nothing
moment
with
these
it.
two see me, you know.
Yeah. And it's like, I think if we're going on these, I think we flashy. Like, even though we don't have Fury. Because it's like, no, we have to commit to go on these guys and we have to get the stun in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we end up getting Nico, but I think we agree the game is kind of over after this point.
Yeah.
I don't think we have much to do. Right. Hey guys, it's Aqsept. If you're enjoying the coaching session that you're watching right now, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. I upload coaching sessions daily right now. I also upload shorts daily. And if you're interested in seeing the sessions a bit more live and asking questions while we're going on, then just remember, I always do these sessions live on my Twitch channel, so you can go follow that, link in the description. Anyways, thank you and enjoy the video. I mean, I don't mind the level 1 cheese. I think the level 1 cheese is...
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's really good because I'm Fog, so...
Yeah, and it's like, if this is comp play once again, it's like, I would probably ask Jungler to come top at some point, right, soon. Because, like, jungle is already won, right? And we invested our tempo into fucking over enemy jungle, so he can easily invest his tempo into fucking over this guy, right, if he wants to. In solo queue, he will never do this, probably. We can ping it if we want to, but in comp especially, like, he could just take enemy topside camps and then come top lane if Camille plays Prio here, which he is, right? And I think this Camille is just fucked up.
Yeah, I think in isolation this is really hard for me if I don't have any sums.
Yes.
I don't really know what the correct play is. Like, let's say Diana doesn't help.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the play is because I'm sitting here no TP.
Yeah. It's like not easy for sure, right? It's like general thing, right? And I mean the sums is like one thing that makes it rough, right? The other is like the HP, right? Like because we start without potion, basically. So we try to make sure we can like get a comeback from that, right? Like in general, giving like a similar thing to like the Pantheon lane, right? Okay, he's gonna be strong on the first few waves, as is the case now. Agreed.
Yep.
So just give him the push, right? It's like fine. Make sure or like try to have him like crash the third wave if we can like impact it somewhat. So don't like fin the wave too much, right? Like here, for example, I would like it's fine to like go for the Q. But, like, so we get regen. But otherwise, we don't, like, hit the wave randomly, right? Like, here, it's, like, kind of troll. See what I mean? It's like, as soon as he potentially gets the crash and we can play with the wave, then I don't think he wins anymore. It's like my take. I mean,
I'm kind of just, like, full no focus ADHD. Like,
yeah.
I think the Q on the wave is fine because he will still push into me. But then like extending trades when I know I don't have some advantage is like it's only way I lose.
It's like there's a like we can take some short trades, right? In that sense, like with Q and potentially E if he like oversteps at some point, right? Like if we have the wave in a good position, we have to be really careful, right? Because we just have so much more like less HP than him, right? That's like one thing. Because he has D-shield, pot, right, up, etc. Like, we don't have anything. And then the other thing is also he has Ignite, right? So our HP is, like, way more valuable than his, right? We're, like, not allowed to lose HP, and he's allowed to lose a lot of HP. And worst case for him, since we don't have sums, he will TP back, right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking after the Mundo play. I was like, okay, how do I get a reset off?
Yeah. And I think... Yeah, go on.
I think the only way is like I'll have to sack a wave, but you know that's also not ideal.
Of course not, like right. But the trade-off is that okay, we won jungle Omega Hard for this Diana, right? So he's gonna be super far ahead, most likely, unless like somewhere we grief or like somewhere rather like our team grief, right? And it's like otherwise, we gotta kill, right? Like that's like kind of the trade-off. We're gonna have to give some CS. That's just simply it, right? We are gonna go down a bit of CS, and then on the bounce back we can play. Right, and then when we go to reset, we're not actually behind, right? Like, because we gotta kill. So that's like the trade-off, right? And it's like right here, we're like still not in a super terrible position in a sense, right? If we get this Q off and then we play like slow afterwards, right?
Yeah, I mean, I should have just face tanked the W, I think.
Yeah, potentially.
I'm just inting, like.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? And then I think like
the
game
is still fine.
Yeah, exactly. The game is still fine for sure, right? It's like a bit unfortunate and it's not like the position we want, but this matchup is still rough for Camille, so I don't hate it, right? I think anytime you want to go for this proxy, if you have time, you go for a ward while you're doing it. Like this is something I noticed you in general. Like you said, you like to play a lot with Prio, and like prior champions, right? If you do on Renekton as well, like just go for a ward here if you have the time. If you don't have the time and you need to catch the wave like you do here, like that's fine, right? But it's like I said it as well. Like I think one time when we went for proxy on Renekton, we warded here. I prefer a deep ward, right? Because
I think by the way, but the thing is, if I ward, I will lose a minion.
Yes,
like,
and that's like as I said here, it's fine. That's what I mean, right? Like here, I don't mind us going for it instantly, right? But I would, for example, take the wave and then go for a ward potentially, and then reset. Right, we're still ahead of this guy in tempo. You see what I mean?
I think I do that.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I actually do that.
No, because here we don't go for the ward. You see what I mean? For example, I mean we go for that ward. Yeah, but I'd rather have it on enemy camps, right? That's my point.
I think, I mean, I know generally when enemy camps are coming up, but yes.
It's not about about enemy camps coming up. It's about anytime we spot this guy here walking in, right? Like that's the reason why we have this ward, right? But the only thing is like he might not gank top lane, right? So when we have it on here and we see him clearing his camps, it means these guys can play aggressively in the same way that we have to play defensively. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It like both helps out your lane, but it also helps out like the entire map, right? And that's why like these like especially like in comp play and solo queue, people might not give a shit, right? But it's like especially in comp play potentially, right? It's like super important to go for these deep wards because it can help out the entire map super hard, and that's why like prior top lanes can be really good, right? Even in isolation.
Yeah.
It's like I think the freeze is like good here. And then like
I don't think I should have broke it. I don't think I should. Maybe I should have just kept freezing.
Yeah, I think it's good to keep freezing. I think when we initially hold it right here, we don't need to tank the entire wave like this. This is a bit troll. Because there's a few things, right? One, we can, if we want to, like Finn 1, maybe 2. I'm not sure if it's a cannon wave. But like at least 1 minion for sure, right? And the other thing is that we just go into this bush and poke out of it, and the minions will aggro us but not auto attack. Like if we wiggle back and forth. So it's like there's really no reason to tank the bush in that sense, or like tank the minion wave. Agreed?
Yeah, I mean I agree, but I also think being 100% HP or 90% HP is not that big difference. I agree.
No, I
think
agree,
I think I'm mainly just focusing on getting the pings off.
Yeah, and that's fine. And in general, for the pings, right, you can ping 6 times, and then it will tell you to stop. If that's something that helps, I'm not sure.
I love a riot. Because sometimes after I ping, I can't ping for like a whole minute.
Yeah, exactly. So what you do is you ping 6 times, you wait like 5 seconds, and you ping again. Usually. If you want to min-max it.
I don't think I will min-max pings actually.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it can be useful in solo queue, that's what I mean, right? So for example, in this spot, it can be useful. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a bit unfortunate, right? Like that Camille doesn't die. I still don't know really how that happens.
Yeah, I like this hook lands. How is he alive?
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought he was dead. I thought it was a bug. I was checking like Yeah,
I don't know. I guess she got her E up or something, like, and she like it wasn't aggroed anymore. Like that's what happened. But yeah, and I don't hate us like not breaking. Like the only thing we have to think about, like when breaking the freeze, like, or if we want to break the freeze, is like when do we want to reset, right? Like that's the only thing. Because like we can potentially hold it a bit longer, right, if we want to. But it's like if we want to break it, like then I want us to reset at some point, right? So you just plan your reset ahead of it. It's like if we want boots here, like we can go for that. If we want, I don't know, some components, fetch, let's say, like we can go for that as well. I don't mind. But it's just that we plan ahead for it. Because when we break the freeze, I don't mind it, but we're gonna have to take a reset on this crash, right? Or we can potentially go and do this with the Mundo, right?
I was gonna reset. I think I remember saying it, but then I
you even said it here.
I'm
like
so bad against this champ. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I think I eat him twice with his passive up. I don't know what the fuck this champ does, man.
Yeah,
like,
I mean the only good thing with like Eing his passive, right, is that he does take damage from it, but that's like it, right?
And I just walk back in and I get the kill.
Holy shit. I mean this was the most troll
shit ever. Whoa.
This shit was omega troll. And I don't know, like here it's a bit awkward, like whatever we do, right? Like so I mean if we potentially want to, we can maybe waste our time, like if you know.
I think it's fine because then Diana can catch top wave, but she didn't catch top wave.
Yeah.
I die.
Yeah, and I mean it's like let's see.
I think Camille has been too fed. Like normally I think these plays are fine, but Camille is too fed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean normally you always win this 1v2, right? Here we see the Mundo on the ward we put earlier, right? That's like one thing to consider. And Camille probably ulted mid, right? But we do spot him like for a split second, like so that's something to pay attention to, right? Like especially when we're just walking around like right now.
Yeah, he's also fog on top side, so.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't hate the play. Here we see him, right? And it's like, if we think we can 1v2 it, like, for all I care, limit test it. If it doesn't work, like, well, unlucky, you know? But, like, it's just something to be aware of, right? And we probably don't position like this in the tower, right? Because I honestly think we don't take the tower shot, we might win this, right?
Yeah, you're right. I was kind of thinking that Camille was gonna E on her side of the wall instead.
Yeah.
I feel like this E is, I mean, it's really good by her. I was just not thinking about it.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
if
it's good unless
guess,
we like manage to cancel it, right? That's the only thing.
Yeah, but I don't know if I wanted to E her E is the thing. I wanted to keep it.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure I can get my Q on her later.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's a bit unfortunate. We get our ult off, and I think we kill her. So it's like quite close in that sense, right? And now I think the game is a bit screwed. The only thing to like consider is the fact that like our team has showed that they kind of want to grief to Camille like 50 times already. So I don't hate it if we want to like
play. Don't show this play.
Okay.
Don't show this play.
No, so it's like if we want to play for Prio more in that sense, like if we can, then I don't hate it, right? In that sense, like because we know Camille will roam and we know our combo won't respect it, right? So, and I mean I don't hate this, right? It's like I think it's like what we have to do to try and come back. And as I said, right, when the game kind of ends up in this position, like we have to look to overload somewhere. I don't care if it's on side lane or if it's on mid lane or wherever, right? Because right now we don't get Prio anywhere, right?
I have tried to. I mean, like, here's my take on this game. I completely griefed lane, like completely. Yes. But then I think I was the only one who actually wanted to do something on like late game. I don't really know what happened on the other side of the map.
Yes.
Like I was pinging things, you know, but maybe they lost it because I muted all because they were not willing to make plays. So
yeah, and that's like.
But I mean, if I was a better player, I could legit just 1v9 this game. So it does come down to me, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's just in general like thinking about like because in the early game, right, it's like, and the reason why we grief lane is just because we play over aggressive is like one thing, right? But it's just thinking about win conditions, right? It's like in one thing because if he doesn't get an advantage of like the fact that we're a bit screwed off the level 1, or not screwed, but like we're a bit weaker off the level 1, then he can't win the lane. Agreed?
Yeah.
So it's like we just have to neutralize that fact, right? And if it's just playing a bit safer and just playing with the fact that okay, we did not get a lead, but like just a kill lead, then that's fine. Or if it's like pinging the Diana to come here or whatever, right?
Can you go back 20 seconds or like 10 seconds? Like, look at the minion. I'm 1 minion away from level 3. Look at the cannon auto attack here. It just disappears.
Yeah.
And I don't kill level 3.
Yeah, and
I don't know if that will make me win, but
no, I don't think it does. Maybe if he doesn't have ignite, I think we win, right? But
I think that's what I'm playing for. At least I don't really remember.
Yeah, and if that's like what we're playing for, that may like make sense to an extent, right? But yeah, it's like in general we have like an easy outright by just letting him push, and then it's like he can't play on this bounce back that easily. Maybe he will like TP back, and then we could be a bit fucked because we'll trade a lot of HP, right? But yeah. And it's like in general, like we just have to recognize what the win conditions are, right? In that sense, like because our lane is still fine, we can still play, right? And it's just we're still chilling. All right. Is there anything else you wanna say about this game or questions about this game?
No, I mean I think I kind of know what happened, but like I like the fog play that I make. I really hate what the fuck I do in lane, and then the game is like unplayable because no one is playing.
Yeah, and I mean that's
kind of
unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Happens. These games happens.
Yeah, of course. It's like in general, I don't have much else to say. At least, like if you have any questions in the future, just ask. You know.
I don't really have a lot of more questions about this game. I was kind of thinking about Renekton game, but also like when I'm in game, I don't really have doubts, you know.
Yeah.
And it's more like I do kind of play with like not knowing limits. Then I just decide to not test limits. Otherwise, I think I was doing a pretty good job, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and in the Renekton game, this game I have, you know, C.
Yeah, and that's unlucky. But it's like I think the Renekton game was fine, right? And it's like both games are hard to win in that sense, like after the early game. But it's like yeah, I think we have things we can improve on, right? And that's like always the case.
Yes, for sure.
Right.
I like it.
Right, awesome. Then, well, I hope it helps. Somewhat at least. Right, and I will see you, man. There you go.
Yeah. Hopefully, I will not hate the rest of the day because of these games.
No, and it's like, I mean, and you said it right, like you tilt a bit of like when you feel like you're not playing good. So I mean, my recommendation is if you want to keep playing, like go play on a Smurf or something like that, right?
Yeah, I will not play more on this account. Don't worry.
Yeah, all right, good.
I was generally not planning on playing this account today, but I am a very forgetful person. It was like, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, all right. Well, I will see you, man, at least.
Thank you.
All right.
But I won't be slowed by dust on the tide.